Hello everyone, welcome to another interview in the Becoming Me series. Today I am speaking to the beautiful Mel, who has just completed her Creatrix breakthrough. So I thought we would have a chat with her and see what it's like just at the end, what it's been like over the last month going through the actual Creatrix process and the things that she's noticed in her day-to-day life. So welcome, Mel. Thanks so much for chatting with us today.
No worries. Hello, everybody.
So tell us a bit about where you were before Creatrix. What was going on? What were the emotions that you were struggling with the most?
For me, I suppose it was just a negative outlook on life. I really struggled with controlling my emotions, my negative emotions. I was always angry, especially to the people around me. I just couldn't react the way that I needed to. And I felt within myself that I was always questioning myself, and I would take it out on other people.
And how was that affecting your relationships, that anger that you had?
That was the biggest toll. My partner and I would just always butt heads because I seem to always take my emotions or my misunderstanding of my emotions out on him. So obviously we had no relationship. We were both holding on because we knew something wasn't quite right, but I just didn't know how to work through it. And yeah, even with my family, my friends, my work colleagues, I just didn't treat them the way that I should have at the time.
And with a lot of people, you can know that you're not, or that you're raging and you're not treating them as you could, but you have trouble controlling that. It just comes out. Is that how it was for
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, absolutely. And you sort of, after the fact, holy shit, I shouldn't have said that. But at the time, it's just like a habit. Your brain says, attack, 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 be on the defensive side. And you know that what you're doing or what you're saying is right, even though it may not be. So you sort of try and play the blame game to other people.
So, what have you noticed with your relationships and with this anger that you had? What have you noticed over the last couple of weeks? Because I think rage was we did that in the first session.
Yeah. Rage was definitely number one emotion that we worked on. And the difference is just astronomical. I don't think my partner and I have had one argument or disagreement since. He has been continually on my back about doing something about it, and now he's continually on my back about, oh my God, I can't believe how much this worked. He still doesn't quite understand it, but he doesn't need to appreciate like the real Mel is back.
Yeah. You don't need to
Yeah.
understand how a plane works to get on and you're going to fly from Sydney to Perth.
Yeah.
You just do it. So
Yeah.
that would mean a great deal to you to know that relationship that you've healed that rift and that you're getting along a lot better.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been amazing. It really saved our relationship. We were just at the end trying to work through raging at each other all the time. Obviously I rage at him and then he gets defensive, and it's a never-ending vicious cycle, which would have obviously, impacted our businesses, our houses, everything else. So it has helped us astronomical.
So now tell me about the business, because you both run a business together. So obviously raging at each other isn't a great way to run a business, but you were always very stressed and controlling and everything had to be done a certain way. Tell me what else was a big issue with running that business and how was that affecting your life?
So I've always been a organized, controlling kind of person. I have high expectations of myself. I strive for the best, I suppose. And I still do feel the same emotions. I'm still quite driven, but the difference in actually stressing over something and just working myself up, yelling at Ben about it or asking for help from other people, between that and now actually just having a list, doing it once and being done with it and not thinking twice about it, the double handling is no longer an issue because I just do things. And I don't second guess myself. I just make the decisions, and I trust now what decision I have made, it's the best decision, and move on with life.
Because doubting your abilities was an issue that we did, was that session 2, session 3? And that, that comes to that second guessing or going back and looking at everything 2-3 times. Tell me about, because we had this conversation, I just want you to share it. When you went on holidays, before you started, you were continually thinking about, you weren't relaxing, you were thinking about work. And then 2 weeks later, you went on a hen's night. Tell me the difference.
Yeah, it was, I can't believe it. I still can't believe it myself. But the first time was sort of a week holiday, didn't put my phone down, was continually thinking, I wonder if the staff can handle the pub. What are they doing? Should I text them? What's going on? Oh, I should do that when I get back to work, etc. And then, the hens party, I literally left my phone in my room, and I actually conversed with people. Not that I didn't before, but I could just notice the difference in just socializing. I didn't care what Ben was doing. I didn't care what was happening at the pub. I was just focused 100% on the environment and having fun for myself.
Yeah. So how does that make life when you can relax and not have that head going?
Yeah, absolutely. That was a big problem for me, is I always had lists. I always had things to do, or I would find things to do to keep myself busy. And now I can have a list sitting there for a week and not do something on it and feel completely content with not going to the list in a week. So it's amazing. So good.
Would you have ever said before, I feel completely content? Like, would that have been
No.
a sentence that it ever said?
No way possible. There's always something to do, or there used to always be something to do, something to improve on, etc. Yeah.
So that's content. I mean, 90% of women, I don't think, have ever said that either. It's something that, it's a feeling in here, isn't it? It's quite a nice feeling to have. So what are some of the other things? Feeling unsupported, lack of control, and which you mentioned before, the expectations too high of yourself. That was something that was really big for you. How did that affect your life? And how do you think you'll go now in the future?
Yeah, huge difference. Again, I always have had high expectations of myself, but it meant for me that I had to double or triple do things, because I had to just reword it or reread it, rewrite it, whatever, make sure that it was correct or to my expectations. In some days it would be, I'd have to do that a couple of days later. So I was always redoing the work. And now I don't even second guess anything. I know within myself that I have the right choice, I have the right word, that I have the right whatever it may be. And I'm just happy to go ahead with it and press send straight away, or whatever the case may be. Yeah.
So does that clear up time and space, not only in your day-to-day, in your life, but in your head as well, not having to think about that constantly?
Yeah, more so my head, because I always had ongoing lists, because I would think to myself, oh, I've got to recheck over that thing, or oh, maybe I should change this word or do this thing on this list or whatever. So I've noticed a difference definitely in my head. There's a lot more room, because I'm doing things and getting them out of my head, not holding on to them until I'm content with them. And obviously the physical time as well, because I only do things once.
Yeah. Anything else that you've sort of noticed with your day-to-day, how you speak to people or what you do, or how you're feeling within yourself since we've done Creatrix?
Yeah. I just feel, I keep using the word light. It's like a feeling inside. I used to always feel like my neck was hurting, I was stressed. There was always a physical feeling inside me. And now I just feel like floating on a cloud all the time. It's just, I may still feel a little bit stressed. I'll feel that feeling and then it'll float away. So I feel, just content, really light, and nothing really worries me.
Isn't that awesome?
It is, definitely.
So if you were to like tell someone about Creatrix, not the ins and out, but would you say that it's easy for you to do? Was it hard? Was it easy? What did you find for your personal experience?
In the start, it was hard. It was hard because you had to make a commitment. So for me, time was obviously an issue. So to actually sit down and make the time for yourself, it
Yep.
was a little bit hard in the beginning. Once I sort of did it and I was more aware of my thoughts and started to make that habit, it sort of changed my mindset in, okay, let's do this for myself. And then obviously once I started to see the results from just one session or even just one conversation with you,
Yep.
that's when I then sort of went, okay, we're in this, just do it, get over
Yep.
yourself and be done with it. So yeah, and obviously towards the end of the sessions, I mean, even just seeing results in like my soccer playing, for example.
We didn't
It
mention that. Tell
was
us
a
about that. It was
no-brainer.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so I played soccer one day, and my coach, as soon as I sort of come off the field, I could feel within myself that I had played a good game. But my coach said to me, "What has been happening, Mel? What the heck is going on?" And I wasn't second guessing myself. You know, I'd get the ball, I would just make the shot, I'd make the pass, I'd make the tackle, whatever it is. Whereas prior to that, I think I was trying so hard to think about what move I should make and second guessing what option to take. So yeah, that was a wow moment for me, that I thought my brain did not have that much to do with my soccer skill, but it definitely did.
So before you were getting in your own road with all the noise in your head, and now you were just flowing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So it was, yeah, incredible. It's been a transformation physically and mentally.
Yeah, and like you said,
Definitely.
I think a lot of women don't realize, because we get used to that weight, because there is,
Yep.
with emotions, there is a weight. There's a physical feeling in your body, and
Yep.
it causes just as much pain and stress as the emotion itself. But I think a
Definitely.
lot of women get used to it and think, well, this is just the way it is. There is no other feeling. And I know I've had a client, and you've been a day apart all the way through. Both had one first session, second session, third session. And for her, it's light, peace, ease, flow. That were the words that she was describing as well. There's a lightness. You've taken that weight away.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So would you recommend this to others? What would you say?
Oh, absolutely. It's, 100% the best money ever spent. It's so many steps ahead any of the conventional kind of psychology or anything that you ladies try and use to help themselves. It's a different field of its own. 100% recommend.
Yeah, and today's International Women's Day. Like this,
Yeah.
if women knew about this, it makes such massive change to their life, to them be able to move forward and do all those things they want to do.
Yep, 100%, definitely. Yeah.
Awesome. Anything else? Anything else that you can think of that you've noticed? That
I
could
just
help
think
someone
that,
sway.
no, I think you just need to take the first step. I had thought about for many, many years. I think even Maria and I had a session probably 10 years ago maybe.
Yeah,
When I was
we
back
did
there.
sort of a coaching session. It wasn't Creatrix, but
But
it would
yeah,
have been, yeah. And you were
yeah,
17, 18, and that's why it wasn't
yeah,
Creatrix.
yeah.
But
So
you knew then, and you were strong enough to reach out and ask for help, which a lot of
yes,
women don't. And so
yeah,
you've got to be commended for that, even back then. And
yeah,
now I guess you've been following and watching bits and pieces, and you just thought it was
yeah,
time.
yeah. That's it. You just have to take the first step. Listen to the universe, I suppose. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And
yeah,
now you've got the next 50, 60, 70 years
yeah,
that are going to be light and peaceful and flow and all of that kind of stuff. And you
yeah.
always know that you can
Definitely.
come back if there's new stuff in the future. You know how easy
Yes.
it is to just kick it out.
Yep, definitely. It is.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time and doing this testimonial interview with me so that other women can know what it's like, hear it from somebody else other than me rambling all the time, to know what it's like to feel free of that emotional baggage, the stuff that we carry around too much and too long.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much, Mel, and we will see you all next time.
Will do.
Bye.